Hi, cozy friends. As we get into the colder months and the cozier months, I really wanted to put together a little list of some self-care ideas to help get you through or just help you appreciate. Like if this is your time, these are your months, you're like, yes, this is my time to shine, then these are just great little additions to like brighten up a few weekends or a few weekdays if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, a little stressed, because the holiday season is pretty stressful for everybody and pretty busy for everybody. And if you kind of struggle through these seasons, you know, the seasonal changes are getting to you, I hope these can help you too, just kind of get through it, pull through it, and take some time for yourself. And all of these things are things that we all have in our heads. We know these things, but sometimes you just need another person to tell you exactly what you already know, but in a slightly different way for you to go like, oh yeah, I should do that for myself. Yeah. So let's just jump into some self-care ideas for the cozy months. Okay, number one, we are starting off very strong with building a blanket fort for a movie night. Yes, I know. This is a classic. It's a classic. And it's also like, really? At our big age? Yes, really at our big age. Build that blanket fort. I don't care if you have kids or if you don't. Build that blanket fort. This is one that I have not done in so long, and I really need to. This is one I want to implement for this cozy season for the first time in a long while. But a little blanket fort with some fairy lights and some safely placed candles and some snacks. It just transforms your entire space, and it makes you feel like you're doing something very intentional to like connect with your inner child and honor that inner child and just feel a sense of like whimsy and playfulness in adulthood that I feel like we get to access so rarely, you know? So just like gift that to yourself. The feelings in childhood where you feel free and you feel like each day is new and magical, like that came because people were creating those moments for us. As an adult, we need to create those moments for ourselves sometimes. We just do. And so a blanket fort with your partner, with your friends, with your kids, with your family, whoever, will be perfect for adding a little whimsy to your week. I would say pick out a movie beforehand, because I have recently made the mistake of trying to decide a movie on the night of the movie night and then not actually ending up watching any movie because we couldn't decide. So I would say pick the movie beforehand. You can do like a poll with the people you want to do the movie night with. If it's just you, just pick it beforehand. Don't try and pick it. I promise you the pressure's too much and it'll be like we set this whole night up for a movie and now we have to pick the perfect movie. Pick it beforehand and then set up the fort, set up the snacks. Everything will come together around the movie that you choose. Okay, next is a hot bath with some solid bath bombs, some solid soaks, maybe some Epsom salt if you're feeling a little sore. Candles, again, carefully placed, responsibly placed candles. And then I want you to add in your favorite cozy hobbies or favorite media to keep you company while you're in the bath. A audiobook, a book, a movie on a projector, a game. I like to bring my Switch into the bath sometimes. Be careful though. I always hold it over the side of the bath. YouTube. If you want to bring your iPad, watch some YouTube. Whatever it is, make sure it's something that you know will help you wind down. The combination of a warm bath and your favorite media, oh, it's unmatched. There's nothing like it. If I'm having a bad day, it's my go-to. Sometimes I'll do it in the morning. I'll do a morning bath. Crazy, I know, but a morning bath on a weekend sets the day up right. It sets the day up right. Have some oatmeal, something warm, have some hot cocoa, hot tea in the bath with you while you have some bath bombs going from Lush or something. I'm telling you, and especially during the seasonal like holiday moments, there's so many fun bath bombs that'll make you feel just like so fun. There's like gingerbread man and candy canes, and your bath water will be a color it probably shouldn't be, but it's gonna be so much fun and make you feel like you're really tapping into the season and like embracing the season, but also giving yourself that time to just like relax and get warm and relax your muscles and tend to yourself in such a nice way. And next one is adjacent to this. If you don't have a bath or you don't like taking baths, sometimes baths are overwhelming. As somebody who, the way my brain works is like I think of every single step involved in a task. Sometimes like doing a bath, I'm like, there's too many steps to that. So instead, you could do a foot soak. You could get just a bucket. You don't need one of those like fancy foot soakers that you see at TJ Maxx and Home Goods all the time. You don't need that, although those are nice too. If you do foot soaks a lot, that might be worth the investment. But you can literally just get like a bucket, fill it with warm water, put some salts in, you could put a bath bomb in there too if you want. You could break it in half so you're not like using the whole thing, and have a little foot soak. I mean, there's nothing like your feet, the thing you walk around on all day, every day, just getting a little moment, just getting a little time to shine, just getting a little rest moment, just feeling the tension of the day like ease out. And it's also a really nice moment for mindfulness where you can sit there and yes, you can bring your favorite media in with you. You can read your book, you can watch your YouTube, whatever, but you can also just take that moment for a little mindfulness and just like reflect, think about how your body feels, think about how your feet feel in that bath, think about the ways you could care for yourself in other ways that week or that day or that month. Just take a little moment. It's like a nice little breather for both your feet and your mind. The next idea is to make soup. And if you know me and you've heard me talk, I talk about this a lot on my streams. I stream on Twitch. If you know me, I talk a lot about how I am not a soup person, but everybody around me is, and I totally understand being a soup person. I just, unfortunately, it is one of my biggest flaws. I am not a soup person. I know. I will happily eat soup. If somebody's making soup, I'll eat it. I just won't be like ecstatic about it. If I'm going somewhere, I'm not gonna excitedly order soup. I don't seek out soup. If soup comes into my life, I'll accept it, but I'm not seeking out the soup. Does that make sense? However, Maya, my best friend and roommate, we've lived together for 3 years now. Maya is like, their whole personality is soup. Like, their entire personality is soup. They have a gemstone shirt that just says soup. We're opposite people. Yin and yang. Soup. No soup. Maya's been making so much soup in our house. I wouldn't say I have turned a new leaf. I wouldn't say I have become a soup person, but I have been able to appreciate the purpose of soup, the function of soup, if you will. Because of the amazing, delicious soups that Maya has made for us in this house, I must say to all of the people who do love soup, it's time. It's time. It's time. If you were waiting for the time, if you were waiting for permission, you probably weren't. But if you were, here's your permission. It's soup season. It's time. It's time to make soup. Maya making soup, like, it's like they're in their element, you know? It's like, it's finally the season. It's time. It's been like one soup a week. It's been a different kind of soup, different genres of soup. And you could just see, I could just see the light in their eyes, you know? I could see the fire under their butt of just like, it's soup time. And something about the process of like making soup for you and your household, I know that there's a sense of self-care in that. So if you love soup, it's time to start making soup. If you don't love soup, it's time to maybe just see the way soup slots into your life. Like, see where soup can fit in to offer a little bit of warmth in your meals and make you feel like you are giving yourself that little moment of self-care. I've never thought I would be talking about soup in like such a, as if it's so contentious, but there we go, make soup. Next is a makeshift cozy reading nook. Now, I have my little cozy nook and I know that it's expensive. I know that it's unrealistic for a lot of people, especially in terms of like having space for one. So my suggestion to you is a little makeshift reading nook, because there's something so special, and it doesn't have to be just reading. It could be gaming. It could be whatever hobby, crochet nook. It could be whatever. I like to call it my cozy hobby nook. I think most people see this as like a reading nook. Whatever it is to you, creating a little makeshift one, whether it's like on the floor in your bedroom, on the floor in your living room, or even just in your bed. If you can get one of those, like, you know, those pillows they always sell in like the college dorm sections, but they actually are kind of nice. Like, I kind of want one a little bit. Like, they're kind of onto something there with that design. It's a good one. Or I have one of those like huge circular reading cushions. I'll like put in a video here of me sitting in it. I just wrap myself into this like little circle. It looks like a pregnancy pillow, but it's a full circle. Having one of those just in your bed, like, there you go. There's your makeshift nook. It can be the place you are all the time. It can be your bed. It could be your couch. It could be things you already have in your home. But like adding just a little something to it where you're like, okay, this is reading time. This is my reading nook. I've transformed it with this one item into my reading nook. Nobody bother me. I'm putting my headphones on. I'm putting my coloring book materials in front of me. I've got my snacks. I've got my drinks. Don't talk to me. I'm listening to smut. I'm listening to fantasy. I'm listening to murder and mystery. Don't speak to me. Thank you. Reading nook time. You know, it's like, it's both a signal to yourself, your body. You're getting that comfort. You're getting that like shift in surroundings by adding like that little special pillow. And it's a signal to everybody else around you. Oh, oh, it's her reading time. I better not bother her. You know what I mean? However you can create a cute little makeshift cozy hobby nook in your space, wherever you can. It doesn't have to be ones you see on the internet like this. It doesn't have to be like that. It could just be whatever works for you. But having that space, having that time for yourself is like the ultimate act of self-care. It's just a space where you can go and you can really embrace that me time and really embrace that time for yourself that you deserve. You deserve it. I know this is my whole channel is talking about you deserve rest, you deserve hobby time, you deserve you time. I know I'm a broken record, but it's true. And a lot of the time we need to just hear it over and over and over again. We need to like hear that permission from somebody else that you do deserve that rest. You do deserve that downtime. You work your ass off, even if you don't. Like, you deserve that time just by being here and existing and being on this crazy freaking planet. Okay, in this world that we live in, it's stressful. There's a lot happening. You deserve rest under any circumstance. Okay, having a little space for yourself, having a little time for yourself is so important, and please give that to yourself in any way you can. Don't deny yourself that beautiful time to honor the rest that you need, honor everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, and honor the inner child too, because you are tapping into that inner child by engaging in some of these cozy hobbies. So that's my little rant. I'll continue. Next on the list is a sun lamp. You guys, I'm a little embarrassed by how long it's taken me to get a sun lamp. I don't know what they're officially called. They're like sunlight lamps, sun lamp. If I keep saying sun lamp, I think that will be the right term. I think that's how it works. A sun lamp is essentially a lamp that is meant to mimic like real sunlight. So a lot of people use them in places where there's not a lot of sun, and maybe they need vitamin D, or they need that for their like circadian rhythm to kick into place and go to sleep and wake up at the right times. But also for some of us that deal with seasonal affective disorder, when the seasons change, our bodies just like hit this period where it's like, no, I'm sad and I'm gonna be sad for a really long time. I can't do anything. The seasons changed. The time's changing. It's darker. No. We're staying inside and there's nothing. We can't do a single thing. I can't lift a finger. So if that sounds like you, if that happens to you, it's not just you. It's not something wrong with you. It's very normal. It happens to a lot of people. I always thought sun lamps were a gimmick. I saw them at like, Marshall's, and I never really saw people talking about them, although I'm sure they were. I just wasn't looking in the right spaces. And I just always thought they were a gimmick. I always thought like, I'm sure they work in such a marginal way that I would never notice a difference. I was wrong. They work really well. It's not a gimmick. It does work. Definitely like talk to your doctor if things are going on and you feel like you need extra assistance and you need extra help with things. Talk to your doctor, because also there could be like vitamin things that you might need, but also try a sun lamp in tandem. It won't hurt. Like, it can't hurt. So mental health is all you got. Okay. Your mental health is like the number one most important thing that you can tend to and care for, especially during these months. So don't neglect it. Don't try and tough through things. Don't try and just like get through. Let's address things head on. Okay. I'm talking to myself here. This is advice I need to take for myself, but I have been working on that this year and it has really helped. So next is a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of reflection, and you can do this through journaling. I love a good voice notes journal. I talk about this all the time. My brain is going too quickly, and I don't mean that in like my brain works so fast. Like my thoughts just like I can't, my hand can't keep up with it. So I love sitting there with my phone like this, yapping to my phone. I love that. I also love tippy typing sometimes. I have this keyboard. It's like this typewriter looking keyboard that I literally only take out for journaling because it puts me in like this specific mood. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, I'm very environment based, and I think a lot of people are. So I feel like you all will probably relate to this, but having like a dedicated item for a specific thing, like I said, pillow for Nook time, having a designated like journaling typewriter is so nice. Like, one, it makes me actually journal when it's something I can tend to neglect because like life moves so fast and I just don't have time to sit and reflect. It makes me not neglect it because I actually want to use it. And then also it's just fun. Like, it makes the whole experience more fun. I'm like tippy tapping away, and I'm like putting extra sass in there sometimes. So having something that like makes you want to journal, but also taking away the friction that also keeps you from journaling. So for me, that was like trying to write by hand when everybody was like, write a journal by hand. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. Wake up and write a journal by hand, write 3 things. No, I tried to do it. I could never keep to it because it was just for me. It didn't work for me. The friction was there every day of me trying to do it and I hating it. So remove that friction. Whatever it is for you, might be something different. Remove the friction. Do voice notes or get a fun keyboard that makes you want to write. My journaling prompt for you this cozy season for a little bit of self-care, a little bit of time for yourself, a little bit of reflection on your year is to write a letter to you this time next year. So you can reflect on the entire past year. You can predict for the future year. You can set goals for the future year, whatever you want to do. So you can have this like end of year. I know we have 2 months left, but still it is kind of, it's just the end of the year. You can have this time at the end of 2024 to look back on in 2025. And also in 2025, you can look back and see like, did I do what I set out to do? Did I make time for myself? Did I meet these goals? Did I, like, whatever it is that you decide to reflect on, you can check in with yourself each year and you can make it a tradition if you want to. But at least that's my prompt for you this year. You can come up with any prompt you want for this time, for however often you want. You could do it every day. You could do it once a week. You could do it once a month, whatever cadence makes sense for you. For me, it tends to be like once a week or like once every 2 weeks. Just kind of try and stick to that these couple months. End of year and beginning of year is a really good time to reflect. It's a good time to reflect. I feel like spring and summer, you're go, go, go. You're like, I'm a new person. I'm setting all these new routines. Fall and winter is a really good time to reflect on everything. See what worked, see what didn't work. You don't have to stick to the things that you thought you wanted to stick to. If it didn't work for you, it didn't work for you. You can set new goals. You can change who you are. Like nothing is stagnant. You don't have to stick to what you thought you wanted to stick to ever, ever, ever. And I love that about life. You never have to, and you never have to beat yourself up for not meeting those goals because maybe that wasn't for you. Maybe that wasn't a goal that you actually wanted or needed all along. So reflection is just so important and it's the perfect time to do that. Great time to check in with yourself and make sure you are giving yourself that self-care and that me time and that personal time. No matter how busy you are, everybody has time for a little tiny bit of me time, a little time to reclaim your energy, reclaim your time, just a little bit of time, no matter how little. So definitely check in and see if you are giving that to yourself. Next is going to be surprising for some of you because some of you might know that I am a certified walk hater. I hate to walk. I only like to walk if there's a purpose to the walk. If there's a point A and a point B, I'll walk. I'll do it. If I'm going to point B, I'll walk. If there's no point B, why am I walking? So that's how I feel. But I'm adding walk to this list because walking is very important for our mental health. It does get that serotonin going in our brains. And also because a lot of people do like to walk. However, if you are a certified walk hater like me, I have a twist for this walk for this season, for this self-care idea, and that is making it an I Spy walk. So that there is a purpose, there is a function to the walk. So what is the I Spy walk? Well, you go outside and either by yourself or with somebody else, you just notice things around you. Noticing things this year, really realizing things and noticing things. You can like make it a game where you're like, I spy something green to yourself. And you point out all of the green things that you walk by. I spy something noisy. You point out all of the noisy things, all the things you notice. It's really just like a mindfulness practice gamified, but it's adding like a sense of purpose and attentiveness to your walk that I think makes it more appealing to people like me who are like, what's the point of this walk if I'm not walking somewhere? So you can do that, or you can like play a game with your partner or your friend or your family, whoever you're walking with, and you can say like classic I spy a dog, and then they point out the dog. I spy a window with stained glass. They point it out. I think gamifying things always makes them more fun. I guess I'm just a gamer like that, guys. Next is setting aside a full day. I mean, full day. Set aside a full day for a comfort show binge watch. I don't mean a new show binge watch. There's always time for that. There's always a new show. Old show, comfort show binge watch. Set aside a full day. You might have to plan around that. You certainly will have to plan around that. Honor that day as a full plan in and of itself. So if you have to like do groceries that Friday before, or you have to like move all your errands to Sunday, do that so that you can have that full day where you know you have zero obligations. Sometimes you just need that. Sometimes you need a day of like, I can have literally nothing on my mind because I know I'm going to take care of everything tomorrow. Clear it for a comfort show watch. Because like sometimes I feel like we have those comfort shows where we'll put it on in the background and we're not really paying attention to it. That's me with Gilmore Girls, like comfort show for sure. But often during the fall, I'm just putting it on in the background because I've seen it so many times. But having that full day where you're like active in watching it, I think will make it, it'll make it very special, and it'll make you like appreciate that show as your comfort show just a little more. And then you can add activities to it if you want. Like you can be doing cozy hobbies while you're watching the show. You can be baking or cooking, making soup. Why was that? A demon just came out. The soup demon came out of me. Making soup. You could be doing all those things during this like binge day, but just like make it a really special day for yourself. Fluff it with things that are meaningful to you. Fluff it with things that are comforts to you. Fluff it with people that are comforts to you. If you and your partner have like a joint comfort show, or you want to show each other your comfort shows, you can split the day half and half. If you and your friends have a joint comfort show from like when you were younger, just set aside a day. It'll be so fun. I promise. Next is creating a DIY mask. This is so 2000s coded to me, and I love it. Like the old school avocado, like smushed masks where you did like avocado and egg whites and I don't know, turmeric or something. Or there's like the oatmeal ones. Do a DIY mask, you guys. Let's bring that back. Let's bring it back. We were bombarded with collagen and retinol and vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. Like, let's bring it back to the basics. Will it actually do anything to our skin? Probably not, but it's the thought that counts. Is there a single active ingredient? No. Will you only be able to use it that one day before it's no longer shelf stable? Yeah. But is it fun? Is it whimsical? Is it zany? Is it giving 2000s? Should you have a little Chinese food takeout box along with it? Yes. Should you be dancing around in a robe with like velvet walls for some reason? Like you live in a New York apartment, but your walls are velvet. I don't know how the landlord let you do that. Yes. You have beaded curtains on every doorway. Yes. That's all. I'll leave it at that. Next is a very obvious one, and that is cozy hobby time. I'm always going to suggest cozy hobby time for self-care ideas. Like, I have cat hair on my mic. Nobody told me. What the heck, you guys? There is nothing quite like just having that moment to yourself to dedicate to doing cozy hobbies, discovering new cozy hobbies you like. I've discovered so many recently. Like I've really gotten into watercoloring. I love a little watercolor. I just have the silly little watercolor notebooks, the little workbooks where it like tells you how to do it, and there's a drawing, and then you just fill in the drawing. It's been so relaxing. It's been so nice. I've loved doing it with y'all in vlogs and like in my short form content. It's just so much fun. So always set aside time, especially during the cozy seasons. It's like perfect for cozy seasons to discover new hobbies, try new hobbies, lean on your old ones that you know and love, reading, gaming, crochet, knitting, all of the textile crafts, all of the artistic crafts, scrapbooking. It's the perfect time for a little scrapbooking, doing the recipe scrapbooking, like I've mentioned in a vlog, where you have the seasonal magazines with all of the recipes, and you know, you're never gonna like flip through the magazine again. So cut out the recipes, cut out the pictures, and make a little scrapbook, cookbook of all of the recipes that you have in your magazines or you have in your newspapers or wherever you find like physical forms of recipes. Try new things, try old things, but just dedicate some time to cozy hobbies every week. I feel like it's realistic, but if you can fit it in every day, fit it in every day. Hey. Okay, y'all. And the very last one is one of my favorite ideas. I just think it's so cute. And that's having a sleepover with your friends where you also, most importantly, have a sharing circle. That is core to the sleepover night, okay? Sleepover night in like the classic way, but everybody like has an actual surface to sleep on, like a sofa or air mattress because we're adults. But have a sleepover in the classic way. You pick a movie, you pick activities, matching PJs, pizza, ice cream, like all of the classic stuff from a sleepover, except maybe like add a little wine in there or something, you know, a little wine, a little karaoke. I love a little karaoke. But have a sleepover. Face masks, the DIY face masks we just made. Okay, let's bring those to the sleepover. Let's make those. We can make them in the sleepover. Now this is a we. Now you're all complicit in the sleepover plan. You're all invited, and we're all going to be making masks and doing karaoke and drinking wine. Sorry, I don't make the rules. You're invited. But hosting a sleepover, or, you know, convincing one of your friends to host who maybe has more space, and having a sharing circle. Because do y'all remember how close you would feel in childhood when you'd have a sleepover and you'd stay up till like 1 a.m. spilling your guts to each other, like spilling every last secret, spilling how you feel, spilling like grievances. I remember I would like literally mediate therapy conversations, like therapy sessions with my best friends and I'd be like, okay guys, we're at our sleepover. It is our time to relieve ourselves of all of the grievances we have with each other, okay? So if we've acted in ways that we didn't like, let's talk about it now and let's resolve it, because we're best friends and that's what best friends do. And then we'd sit there and we'd like get everything off our chest, and then we'd be better for it. We'd be best friends. We'd be stronger for it afterwards. Why? I'm just the same person now I was then. That sleepover deep sharing circle energy is so rare to come by, I feel like, in adulthood. Like, it definitely comes more on like a drunk night and you're like, I gotta tell you something, bestie. Like, I love you so much. And also, like, here's my deepest, darkest secrets. And that's just like a little different. We want to bring a little more intention to it, a little more wholesomeness, I think, and make everyone feel really safe to like share and connect in that way. If you need a little help, wait, I have a couple decks. There's one, I think it's called We're Not Really Strangers. I only have the couples edition, but I know they have like a regular, just like any person edition. We're Not Really Strangers. It's like deep conversation, connection, questions, and card decks and stuff. So if you're like, I don't really know how to make people feel comfortable and like prompt people to share things on my own, then you can use decks, because then it makes it more of like a little game where you're like sharing and caring, but through cards, and it doesn't have to come from you. And then I also have a TBH deck, which is by Lavender, and it's 120 prompts for honest conversation and deeper connection. So like, let's see an example. And there's like levels to it. Same with the We're Not Really Strangers. There's like levels to it. So let's go with like a really deep one. Oh my God, like this. At the end of your life, how do you want to be remembered by the world? How can you show the people in your life more love? What type of people do you want to surround yourself with? Things like that, you know? And then there's different kinds, but you can come up with these questions yourself. You don't need a deck. You can come up with these questions yourself. You know your audience, you know your friends, and you can either come up with questions or you can do a deck like that. But having a little sleepover is such a good self-care night. Community is so important to self-care. Like, this year, I feel like was one of my happiest years. I'm not getting emotional. No, stop. Okay, we're good. This was one of my happiest years of my life, and I think it was because I spent so much time making time for community. I invested so much time, so much more than I usually do, in making time for friends and people in my life and making new friends and fostering those new friendships. And I have been so happy, because not only do I have such a strong community at home by like living with my best friend and my partner, that's really, really nice. And it really does feel like community every day, but making effort to like find new friends and make new friends and then like actually investing in those new friendships has made me so happy. Like I really just feel like I have people to go to when I like stop. When you need to just like escape life for a little bit, or you just need like a little bit of fun, a little bit of like play. I have friends that like I'll go play games with. Like we'll play online games together. I have friends that like we'll have movie nights. I have friends we'll go out and do stuff. Having friends for like different moods, different things. But having community is so important for your mental health, for self-care. People that know you, people that care about you will always be a grounding force, and always sometimes know what you need more than you need. You know what you need for yourself, and really just like pull you out of dark places, but also keep you in the good places. Like, this year was such a good year for me because I've had the community to like keep me in such a happy place for the whole year, and that's been really nice. Also, y'all are also my community, and just being able to connect with you guys in different ways. And like, if you have creators that you go to for a sense of community, like that's valid. That's so valid. It can be parasocial, but like sometimes that's what you need. Like, if you are like, I go to this creator because I want to feel a sense of community on like a weekend when I'm doing errands by myself, that's valid. That's so valid. So have that community, lean into community, find community however you need to, whatever form or way it's valid to you, that's valid, okay? But also have fun with your community and like make time and have fun little sleepovers and get-togethers with your community, because that's what life's all about, man. Life is short. Like, create those fun times for yourself, for others in your life. Self-care is not just things. Self-care is not just like, go on a Target trip with me and get some face masks. That's not what self-care is. Self-care is so much deeper. It's so much more about who we are to ourselves, how we're treating ourselves, how we're treating other people, if we are loving ourselves the way that we should be. and to the extent that we should be, that's what self-care is. Self-care is showing up for yourself, because if you don't, who will? Hopefully you do have people in your life who will, but you should be the one that you can always rely on. And that is what self-care is. And these are just some easy ways to show up for yourself, okay? Especially in these cozy, colder seasons. That got a little heavy, a little heavy at the end there, but I love you guys so much. And please have a lovely, cozy season with yourself, with your friends, with your loved ones. Embrace whimsy, embrace play, embrace me time. You deserve it. Okay. I love you. Stay cozy. Bye.